Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Is it morning? Yeah, it's 10:06. 10:06 a.m., eastern slope of Colorado. Good morning. Let's see, we got clear skies. I don't see a cloud anywhere. Temperature, 34. I think it only got down to like 26 last night. I was up at 4, getting ready to do meditation, and pretty sure it was only like 26. I have my red Solo cup, semi-cool, half and half coffee. Oh boy, tastes good anyway. Just left the gym, I've had a real busy morning since about 4 o'clock, and just got my workout finished, and it felt great. Lifting more weights, and my rotator cuff is coming along, although it'll be months before it gets completely healed. I'm using the new earbuds from my new iPhone 10. See how they work today. Still trying them out. They got a lot of bass to them, I think. I don't know. We'll listen and see what we think. But so anyway, not a real long podcast today, but kind of an important one. I ran into some issues yesterday that I wanted to address with you guys today. I'm in my truck. I've got the engine running, so I don't think you can hear it, but I guess we'll find that out later too. It's a little too cold to be just turning the engine off, but so anyway, here's the deal. I was with a friend of mine yesterday, and he's I don't know. I think he thinks he does NLP, but it's really psychotherapy. You know, takes you through all the emotions, and I don't know. It seems like people experience or touch on, maybe that's more accurately, some of the trauma that they experienced when they were younger. That's part of doing psychotherapy, right? Did I ever do that? Yes, of course. Of course, when I was doing clinical, yeah, of course I did psychotherapy. And did I take people through periods or phases of their trauma? Yeah. Intentionally? Yeah. To just work through feelings and emotions and clear that out so that you could move on and go on to other things. That's what psychotherapy kind of does. And call it whatever you want. Since I've been in neuroscience, I'm just a non-believer in psychotherapy. I mean, this guy's a great, great guy. And probably very, very good at what he does. But, when you take people back through their trauma, something's wrong there. And neuroscience can do the same thing in probably 1/10 of the time without any pain. So anyway, I'm going to go through an example of that because it's kind of important for all you people out there searching around for therapists to work with. And I want you to be knowledgeable of, a couple different approaches that you can choose. Choose whichever one you want. So here's the deal. Psychotherapy does exactly what it says. It identifies, I'm going to simplify this. It's not very accurate in terms of the detail, but I'm going to simplify it just for the purposes of what we're doing. It identifies something that's inside of you that you need to get some closure to or get rid of in order to move on to better and more healthier and positive aspects of your life. And in so doing, as I had said previously, you end up touching on some of the trauma. And of course, I'm not into that. Now, neuroscience says this. And again, I hope I explain this in a very simplified fashion, because it's a very simple concept. Crossing the river of change is getting rid of all of the negative stuff that has caused the neurons to connect in bunches and then become hardwired so that you have obstacles and limiting belief systems. Period. Pretty simple, yeah? Everybody got that? Real clear. Now, how do you get rid of that? There's several ways. I'm going to go through one of the more obvious ones in neuroscience, and I present it for your consideration. That's all I do. So you have two aspects. You have your brain and your body. Your brain's the mind, right? It runs the show, supposedly. And you have a mind down in your gut. There's a lot of research indicating that a lot of the decision making, it goes on in your gut, and there's a brain down there. There's a brain in your body. And the body is identified with emotions. And we call those emotions in neuroscience chemicals. Your body produces chemicals, which are the emotions that you have. Your brain, your head, are the thoughts that you have. So, you take all the negative thoughts that you have that go into your head, and you stop them. One of the common words that you use, as you're going through your day and you become the observer, and you start hearing the negative thoughts coming into your head around, I don't know, anxiety, depression, lack, disease, whatever. And you say change, to yourself. Don't scream it out in the middle of a store or something. They might think you're pretty silly. But, and you stop it so that you're not allowing any thoughts to enter your head that are continuing to hardwire the limiting belief systems you have. Clear? Clear. Your body does the same thing, although not in thoughts. Your body will produce chemicals that produce an emotion of possibly sadness, depression, anxiety, bitterness, anger, frustration, on and on. Negative emotions. Okay? All right. Solo cup, another drink. Here's what happens. Is that sometimes you become addicted to the chemicals in your body. Call them a disease if you want. Call them a sickness, an illness. Every morning when you get up and throughout your day, your body is producing the chemicals that allows you to feel the same way you felt yesterday. And the day before that, and the day before that, and the week before, and the month before, and the year before. Your body is going through great amounts of effort to keep you addicted. People, we're just going to say whatever you have. We're just going to call it a disease. It could be anything that you have, I'm not sure. But your body is keeping you addicted to stay in that mood, in that temperament, in that personality, so that you don't deal with and address the disease and heal. Clear that out. Prune apart the neuron connections, clusters, and rewire in new ones. People get addicted to the chemicals. Now, reason this with me. Your body is producing all of the chemicals to produce the emotions that you're addicted to, right? In a sense, your body now has more control than your mind. Did you follow that? So every day, let's say for the past 5 years, you feel sad, despondent, depressed, overly at times, pessimistic maybe. Your body is doing that for you to create the chemicals, to produce the emotions, and you eventually find out, I just want to stay in that mood, that temperament, that personality. Yes? All right. Now follow this with me. In order to heal, self-heal, we need to become someone else. Our personality has done us more harm than good. We need to change our personality and become someone else. And the disease stays with the old personality. Now, what's happening here is that your body has become the mind. And the mind has become the servant. And it's supposed to be the other way around, as far as I know. Right? Red Solo cup. Boy, that's good. So here's the process. Here's what I like to do with people. Not counseling, just education, training, teaching. Every time you have a negative thought, you need to stop it before it's allowed into your head. Simple enough? So you get up in the morning and maybe you're having a thought about whatever's going on with you that's in lack. You got to stop that before it even goes any further, before it enters your head. Before you get out of the house, you might have 10 of those kinds of thoughts wanting to creep into your head. Once you get out, you're driving in your car and you're going to work and you're having thoughts. You got to stop those. You have to stop them while you're at work. You have to stop them when you come home. We need to prune apart all of those thoughts, which are neuron connections, that cause all of that to be hardwired and your disease to remain. 2, we need to do likewise with our body. Here's where the difficulty may arise. The body is like, and I've heard this said before, it's not mine, it's not original, it's like a stallion. It's like a wild horse. It's like a bucking bronco. Yeah? And it's not going to want to just do what you say, because it's been producing this chemical for you, these emotions for you, for months and years. And it's going to say things to you like, and again, this isn't mine, it's not original, I'm just copying from where I heard it. Your body is going to be saying things like, can't we, let's do that tomorrow. We should start that tomorrow. Let's do it next week. This isn't a really good time. It's a little cold out. Maybe we should wait until it warms up before we start that stuff. I love Dr. Joe's funny example where he kind of uses, aliens come down and land in your backyard, and they come and they knock on the door to come and visit you, and you say, could you tell them to come back? I'm watching Dancing with the Stars. Could they come back tomorrow night, maybe? That's got to be the funniest thing I heard him say. But at any rate, you get the hint. So your body's not going to want to just be as cooperative as maybe your head and your brain is. Nevertheless, you have to regain control and put the body back into the subservient position and not the position of the master. So every single time you start having that chemical, you're the observer, remember. Every single time you start feeling that chemical being produced that's creating the emotion, you have to stop it. And it's like having that bucking bronco. You have to say, stay. Whoa, whoa. And you have to remain in control. Because you have to unwire and rewire. Everybody understands that principle, yeah? We have to unwire all the neurons that are making us sick, and we have to rewire new neuron clusters that do not have the sickness in them. And the body is one of the toughest parts to get through. But again, we're not. This is the point I'm trying to make with the whole podcast. We're not having to experience the trauma that psychotherapy takes you and drags you through. It's like dragging you through a mud puddle. I didn't say anything in explaining a procedure you could take in neuroscience to accomplish the same thing, and you don't experience the trauma. The trauma is the thought, having to relive that. We don't do that in neuroscience. Everybody understand that? I think it makes really clear sense. So anyway, that's just another aspect of the difference between psychotherapy and neuroscience when you're self-healing. And self-healing here, we're talking about lack, we're talking about disease, we're talking about emotional problems, whatever you happen to have. Anyone who wants to contact me, I do consultation education, happy to Skype with you anywhere in the world, happy to talk with you on the phone, happy to meet with you if it's all possible, and sit down and do some consulting. Able to come to wherever you're at, maybe do a presentation, maybe do a little short one-day workshop. Whatever helps you in the healing process. by using neuroscience, I'm available. Make sense? God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I'm looking forward to talking to you all again real soon. See you. Bye.